It's Pure Country Connected. It's Neil Anthony here. And after a 4-month delay, we chatted then. We're chatting now. Lindsay Ell. Tomorrow is the big day. Heart Theory is going to be out for everybody to hear. And I got to tell you, everybody should be excited because it is an amazing journey. 12 tracks. You co-wrote 11 of them. Why not all 12? What's up with the one you didn't write?
Why not all 12? Well, I always have the rule of best song wins. And going into an album, I mean, as a songwriter, I probably write 200 to 250 songs going into a 12-song project, as well as listen through probably 500, 600, 700 outside songs.
Right.
Trying to find those best ones that represent exactly what I'm feeling, what I'm going through right now in my life. And I always have the rule of best song wins. It's very difficult for me as a songwriter to cut outside songs, but I know a lot of my peers have had careers that have been built on the incredible outside songs. And Keith Urban actually once told me, he's like, Lindsay, if you find a song that says what you want to say in a way that you know you never would have written it, you need to cut that song. And he's like, outside songs are often like jackets. You put them on and you see if you can move in them, you see if you can dance in them. And if you can wear that jacket well, then that's a song you need to cut. And when I heard I Don't Love You, it was one of those moments that I'm like, I live every part of this song. Like the details in the verses are my life. It was like the song was written for me. And who am I to say, living in a town like Nashville with some of the most incredible songwriters in the world, that I can't, have a platform to lift them up around me as well. So it's been a really rewarding thing to be able to put that song on the album.
Right. And what we should tell people, honestly, listening to this, I can tell how personal it is for you, how much of yourself has been put into this album through past relationships. And obviously the song that is going to hit people the hardest is Make You, which you put out just in the beginning of July because of situations that I honestly hope my daughters never have to go through. But it showed so much strength for you to put this song out so that other people in that situation, sexual assault, can have a voice, and you're helping them, especially the children. And I think that's probably the strongest thing you've ever done as an artist, is to be able to put that much personal spot on you to share with other people to help them.
Thanks for saying that, Neil. Yeah, I feel that music and art has the power and ability to connect us all. And it is, the universal language that can transcend demographics and language barriers and even locations of where people are in the world. Like it's just this connecting force to kind of bring us all together and be like, you know what, we're all human beings fighting these similar battles on the planet. And if we can just realize that, we can truly be there for each other, we can find so much more healing from that.
Right.
And, I think me getting to the point where I wanted to talk about my story as a little girl, a lot of that had to do with me getting to that place where I knew that if I didn't talk about this, that I was holding back an opportunity to help other little girls or other little boys or grown adults who are also survivors, to let them know that they're not alone, to let them know that the shame and blame and guilt that we carry as human beings is so heavy. And if you take the first step of even talking about it, it normalizes that shame and you're able to claim it and own it better, and then be able to feel such a level of freedom from that.
So was that going into that songwriting session with Brandy, is that kind of the first, it was like you brought it up to her and she was like, we need to run with this and get your message out?
Brandy has been a friend of mine for a long time. We've toured the world together, and I've always just looked up to her as like the female John Prine of our time. She's just so gifted with her words. And I've tried to write a song about this for a long time, and it always just ended up being so dark and so heavy. And so when I finally made that decision that this was now the time, I just called her up and I was like, Brandy, I want to write a song about my story, and I would really like you to help me do so. And it took her like 2 seconds to fearlessly say, yes, Lindsay, I would be honored like, thank you for having the courage to want to talk about your story, and let's do it. And so we got together, and Make You was written in the span of 2 hours. It just was a song that came out, and it was just so honest, you know. And I think I stand by what that song says so much, not even just in my specific experience, but I feel like the things that we go through in life, like that bend and stain and break us, is truly what makes us into the humans that we are.
100%. And you've been working with young boys and girls that have gone through similar experiences, and how have you seen them change for you, like them to see you talk about what you experienced, and then them being like, oh, it's okay, I can talk about this? Like, have you seen a change in those kids that you've been directly involved with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from the day after releasing Make You, I was getting thousands of DMs from fans being like, Lindsay, like, thank you for releasing this song. You know, I've never even told this story to anybody before. They were sometimes telling me their story for the very first time, and I don't take those things lightly at all.
Right.
And knowing that I have the ability to make a lasting impact in even a handful of people's lives is something that I am so grateful for. And I also am making a huge focus around this album, around this time in my life, around launching my own foundation, around the song Make You. I truly want to be an advocate and the support to other survivors out there.
Well, I honestly think it's honestly the best thing for you as an artist to have done. Let's talk about the rest of Heart Theory, because there's so many great songs on here, and it takes you on a journey, which I absolutely love. We start off with Hits Me, co-written by Tyler Hubbard of Florida Georgia Line, and then you get to Ready to Love at the end. So it's a nice journey through obviously what you've experienced in your 30 years. That, yeah, it's all come together for Heart Theory tomorrow. And so take us on that journey, starting with, you know, Hits Me's #1 track, and then Ready to Love wraps it up. How much input did you have on that journey you're going to take us on?
I had pretty much all input. You know, I realized halfway through writing this record what I was doing, and I was writing these songs in order of how I'm processing and feeling these things in my life right now. And so it was really empowering to sort of see my growth in the songs I was writing, because I don't wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write a song about grief today. Like,
Right.
I just write what I'm feeling. And so it was really cool to be able to look at the songs I'm writing and slowly see me grow and heal to deeper levels. And that's what spun the idea of, okay, how cool would this be to write a concept album that is
Right.
in order, where fans can listen to it from track 1 being Hits Me, in the stage of shock of the 7 stages of grief, and then go in order of shock, denial, anger, all the way to the bottom of acceptance, of Ready to Love, of Make You, being able to accept things that have happened to us in our lives and realize that that's what makes us into the messy puzzle pieces that we are, as well as being ready and open for new things, which is so incredibly difficult to do. But I think that that's when you reach, and when you fully know you're at that next level, is when you can be open and ready to love, to be hurt again, as scary as that is.
Right.
When you can get to that place where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try this. That's a magical place to be.
And you seem so happy right now. Like, I could see it in your face. You've got a glow on that. It's like you're waiting for Friday to hit so everybody can listen to it.
I am just such a believer that that things happen in life in the time that they need to be, and I'm just very grateful for everything in my life right now. Very grateful.
Until you get a dog.
Hey, I am sure that day is somewhere in the future, and I will be so excited for that moment, because I love being a dog mom, and I feel like I'm
don't know what the dog reference is to. If you're watching this, we talked 4 months ago when the pandemic hit, and Lindsay was all ready to.
I got bit bad. I was like ready to adopt a dog. It was like, sign here. I was pretty much clicking the accept button. But,
So I'll ask you, is there like a specific type of dog you want, or you're just whatever dog you see and you fall in love with?
See, that's the thing. I mean, I definitely have my favorites. But I need to like meet the dog and like look into the dog's eyes and just like, as crazy as that sounds, like just feel connected to them. The dogs we had growing up were like little human beings. They had so much
Right.
personality. You know, we had two growing up, but one specifically was my brother and I's third sibling. I mean, she was a member of our family. And
Right.
so, you know, if I were to adopt a dog, it would need to be something that's special.
That's so these dogs have a high standard to live up to.
I mean, hey, if you don't set high standards in your life at any point, you know,
It's
then
true.
what is life worth living? Set those standards high.
100% agree. I want to ask, so with Heart Theory out tomorrow, we've heard multiple tracks already. What's another song that people absolutely need to hear on this album that nobody's heard yet, other than, well, I've heard it, but anybody else that's had an advance copy, but they need to hear tomorrow when it comes out?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously Make You is a very important song and moment on this record. Want Me Back is probably just the whole vibe, and thank you guys so much for supporting that song. As far as another song I really want people to listen to, there's the song called Good on You. And I feel like it's just a very honest feeling that a lot of people can relate to. It has like elements of groove and soul and Motown, which are so many of my influences from growing up.
Right.
And so that's definitely a track I can't wait for people to check out.
Well, I can't wait till Stroke of Midnight tonight. Listen to it, Heart Theory, tonight.
Me too. I also will be doing a 24-hour live stream. And so if people are bored, I will be getting on Instagram Live, being live for 24 hours straight, and it's going to be quite the day. But I'm very excited to just celebrate with everybody constantly for 24 hours.
So what time does that start then?
It starts at 11 p.m. Central, I guess tonight. So
11 p.m. Central tonight. So that's two, or what time is that? Midnight here? That's midnight
yeah,
here.
that's
Yeah.
midnight there. Yes.
I get my time
The
zones mixed
midnight.
up.
I mean, yeah, time zones, schmime zones. Yes, midnight tonight. I will be live for 24 hours straight. It's going to be quite the time.
So, so you're stocking up on this?
I am definitely
Oh,
stopping
wait,
up on that.
you don't have
Unfortunately,
Tim,
we don't have
you don't
Tim.
have Tim Hortons.
We don't have Tim's down here. If you could like sonically send me some
I'll see what maybe I can get it couriered to you.
that would be
but-
amazing. Oh my gosh. I need all the caffeine and sugar probably I can get.
So I'll ask you, because you've lived in the States for almost over a decade now. We had this conversation on my live feed on Friday about the difference between Canadian coffee and American coffee, and I still haven't found a great cup of coffee south of the border.
I mean, you need to go to like local coffee shops,
Right.
I will say. I mean, you know, there's Starbucks, obviously, Dunkin', whatever. But I always like going to like the local coffee shop wherever we are. And then
Right.
you know that like, so much love goes into it, and you know, you're gonna get a real good cup of coffee.
All right. So if I'm ever back in Nashville, whenever this is over and I feel safe,
Yep.
where do I go for a good cup of coffee?
You go to this place called Dose, Dose. It's so good. There are a couple of locations, as well as Ugly Mugs is pretty good, or Crema. Those are like the three Nashville hotspots.
All right. I'm going to have to write those down. Remember those for, well, I don't know when I'll be in Nashville next.
I love it.
Sorry, I guess you can come home. Do you have any plans to come home and visit?
You know, I definitely have been thinking about that, just with the rules of even quarantining. I mean, the fact that I'm a Canadian citizen, you're right, I can totally come home, but it's just been trying to figure that whole process out. You know, my mom's birthday is around Christmas every year, and so we've definitely just been trying to figure that out, and what December may look like. As much as that feels like it's forever away, it's actually just around the corner. So I probably will be getting up there for sure in December, but who knows before then.
Awesome. Well, Lindsay, I appreciate you taking time out of your day once again, chat with me. Heart Theory, Stroke of Midnight, and well,
Midnight.
Instagram Live. Lindsay's
Yes.
going to be highly caffeinated for 24 hours.
Highly caffeinated Lindsay. Who
And
knows?
you know what? Maybe I'll jump in there and hang out with you for a little
Come
bit.
on, please. I need all of the fellow encouragement that I can get.
I'm a night owl, so maybe I'll join in the party right at midnight.
Amazing.
Once again, thank you so much. I can't wait for everybody to hear this. Midnight tonight, Heart Theory. Don't skip any tracks. 1 to 12. Just
1 to 12,
enjoy
guys.
the
Just
journey.
write it down.
Lindsay, thank you again, and we'll talk to you very soon.
It's so good to hear your voice and see you on Zoom. Thank you so much for supporting this album.